what's up guys? Welcome back to a new video. Today I'll tell you what this means. This is called the Radiation Sandstorm. Basing from what story the game has built, this serves as the reoccurring event where the environment undergoes intense radiation levels and inflicts a player with the radiation status effect. Today we'll talk about what happens during this event, what is affected, and why it's worth paying attention to. But let's go back a few seasons ago. Before it existed, we had a game match timer which limits a player for overstaying inside a map. This serves as a reminder for the player to evacuate before the timer ends. And when the timer does end and the player is not able to extract, the player will then get a death and lose everything in his inventory. Fast forward to Season 5 of Lost Light, we are then introduced to the Radiation Sandstorm. As I mentioned in the beginning, this is a reoccurring event where radiation levels are applied to your character, which now serves as a replacement for the game's match timer we had before. So basically, this Radiation Sandstorm is your reminder that you cannot stay inside the map forever. From the development side, this serves as a reset or a refresh of the current game lobby, meaning all looted items, locked rooms, and boxes plus the AI enemies will be reset or respawned. It's quite a creative way to lessen server load and prevent any crashes or issues because of too many elements being loaded in or kept in the game lobby. This kind of reminds me when I had a Minecraft server before and I had a genius Minecraft wizard named Zero who applied the clear lag function on our survival world. The way it functioned is at a specific time interval, any and all items on the ground will be despawned to give the server breathing room and prevent lags or even crashing in any way. So going back to Lost Light, just think of the Radiation Sandstorm as a similar process as clear lag in Minecraft. Moving on, let's jump into the specifics and the details worth noting about the Radiation Sandstorm. Firstly, this event occurs within 13-minute intervals beginning at the exact point as you spawn inside a map. Fast forward to when the sandstorm begins, it lasts for 1 minute, giving the player obstructed vision, strong wind audio, and map interference. It's also worth noting that the effect of obstructed vision and strong wind audio can be avoided or at least lessened when the player is confined indoors, but is still affected by the radiation effect in the same way. Second, this event causes all marauders to respawn. Now I know in a realistic setup this wouldn't make sense, but it's a video game, so yeah. Given that the enemy AI are considered as existing elements inside a game match, all marauders will be respawned after the Radiation Sandstorm. This includes elites and boss marauders such as Raymond or Lions, so be aware of your location whenever this happens. Thirdly, and probably the most important part to take note of, is that all items that are no longer in their original state will be reset. To be specific with the word original, if the item was originally spawned on a table and you did not pick it up, it will not be despawned during the sandstorm. The same also applies with locked doors, locked boxes, and even vending machines. For locked doors, their only possible statuses are either closed or open. Since we changed those statuses with the use of a key or a key card, the door you opened is no longer in its original state. The same also applies for locked boxes, but the probability of what item you get from these boxes is completely random and is not affected by the Radiation Sandstorm in any way. It's also worth noting that since doors also reset to their locked state, there are chances where players get trapped inside rooms during the sandstorm reset process. It was exploited before that players would intentionally get locked inside these rooms so that they can secure the loot items currently replenishing because of the Radiation Sandstorm. So for an example, if you gotten a crypto coin inside a safe box from a locked room, and you wait for the sandstorm to reset that same box, there's a chance that you can get another crypto coin again. But as of Season 7, this exploit has been patched out, and you can no longer loot any item inside a locked room if the door state is still locked. If in case you get trapped inside a locked room and you don't have any key or keycard to open it, you can now utilize the respawn function so that the game will then respawn your character outside of the locked room. The fourth thing to take note of, and probably one of the most recent additions to the game, the Radiation Sandstorm will break your Hella sources. As this item was introduced just this Season 8 of Lost Light, it came with the mechanic of being a very delicate and also very dangerous item to carry. At any time before and during the Radiation Sandstorm, this item will be safe in your hands, but as soon as the sandstorm ends, this item will lose its use and value to the player. For a more in-depth guide about these crystals, kindly refer to this video I made as well. And lastly, the Radiation Sandstorm inflicts the player with the Radiation Status effect, wherein each sandstorm that occurs, the effect will then stack upon the player, and also begin reducing your HP gradually, where the higher the stack, the stronger the direct damage to your character's health points. Now this is the part of the video where my brain went off into thinking, how long can I survive a Radiation Sandstorm? Some of my viewers who joined me on my livestream tested this out in a custom lobby, where we all stacked up on medicine and tried to outlast the effects of the Radiation Sandstorm. For the most part, none of us managed to get past radiation level 4, as the damage you get from this level of radiation is too strong and not enough medicine will save you. We also factor in the requirement of keeping your hunger and hydration levels up, because when you reach 0 levels of hunger and hydration, they also damage your HP directly. But being as persistent as I am, I did more research solo and managed to reach radiation level 5. It took some luck in farming medicine in the wastewater area in BAF, as there are plenty of medicine boxes scattered around, and I also intentionally downed myself, as in this state, the radiation effect will not be applied on your HP as your HP bar is no longer a factor. I took the full duration of being in the down state, respawned and ran right back to my death box to resume their healing process. This was somewhat hard to achieve, but also a fun challenge if you're up for it. My next attempt is to maybe reach the legendary level 6 radiation, but apart from rumors, I have yet to see anyone accomplish this. And that pretty much covers everything you need to know about the Radiation Sandstorm. If this video helped you in learning more about the Radiation Sandstorm, consider giving this video a like. Also, comment down below what radiation level you were able to beat, share this with a fellow Lost Light player, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Thanks again for watching, I really appreciate you sharing your time. See you in the next video. Bye guys.